people confuse voluntary euthanasia with assisted suicide. This comes to no surprise as there really is no big difference. Assisted suicide happens with the aid of another person, usually a physician. This basically means that the physician knowingly and intentionally provided someone the knowledge and/or means to commit suicide. Means can be either counseling or lethal doses of drugs. The process of assisted suicide can be painful. Now, voluntary euthanasia is ending a life in a painless manner. That really is the only difference. Now for some quick history. The first country to ever introduce a voluntary euthanasia law was Australia back in 1995. The first person to use the law was Bob Dent, a 66-year-old man who was dying with cancer. Only 2 years after that law passed, the Howard government intervened. While all this was going on in Australia, things on the other side of the earth were happening. That same year, in the U.S., Oregon passed the Death with Dignity bill. 4 other states followed after that: Vermont, California, Montana, and Washington. Voluntary euthanasia first became legal in Europe in 2002, starting with the Netherlands and Belgium. In Latin America, Colombia is the only one that has legalized voluntary euthanasia, and that happened in 2015. Now, while all this was happening again, back in Australia, there had been 28 attempts to get a law passed again, but they were all denied. One was just by 2 votes. Voluntary euthanasia is now available to over 100 million people on 3 different continents, but still not available for Australians.
Hello, I'm Emily. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Belgium. And this documentary is about my request for euthanasia because of mental suffering. And when you see this documentary, I won't be here anymore.
In this video, you can see Emily, a woman from Belgium. Now, I chose to show this video because it's a good comparison to Brittany Maynard, which was her version in the U.S. The right to die and death with dignity are constantly being fought for. Brittany Maynard was an American with terminal brain cancer who chose when to end her life. She was born in Anaheim, California on November 19th in 1984. She was diagnosed with grade 2 astrocytoma on January 1st, 2014, at only the age of 29. On April of that same year, the cancer had grown to a grade 4 and she was given only 6 months to live. Brittany then moved to Oregon to be able to take advantage of the Death with Dignity law. She had become the face of the right to die debate in the U.S. On November 1st, 2014, Brittany ended her life surrounded by her loved ones. A couple of days before that, she had posted a goodbye on Facebook explaining to her friends that cancer had taken so much from her, and so she had chosen to pass away with dignity. When I first decided on my big question, I was under the impression that you couldn't legally die in the U.S. I didn't think it was fair that people had to stay alive if they were under some kind of terminal illness. After doing research, I learned about the different laws that apply to each state. Thus, my question has been answered.